everyone, this is Becky,
I'm Sarah.
and we're doing Bickering Book Reviews. Today we're talking about Change of Plans by Sarah Dessen, which I got off of NetGalley.
Same.
So this book is about Finley. Finley is just about to graduate high school. Actually, the very beginning of her book is graduation day. Woo! And Finley's basically she's got her life figured out. She thinks she has her life figured out. She has this perfect boyfriend, Colin, who she's totally in love with, and she's planning on going to the university with him in the fall. Even as so much as giving up her spot at like her dream school to go with him. Well, the day after graduation, he is going on a Disney cruise, and she was invited to go, but her mom's like, "Nope, we have shared custody. This is my week. You're coming with me to New York." So she can't go with Colin. Colin leaves. And her mom shows up, and instead of taking her to New York, her mom's like, "This is an emergency. We have to go to this lake house that Finley didn't even know it existed." And it was a lake house that has been in her mother's family for years. And out of the blue, all of a sudden, her mother has decided that they're going to sell this house. The mom's two sisters, um, Casey and Liz, who Finley has met like twice, and she didn't even know this house exists. Like, she's never been to this house. She doesn't know any of these people. Have been wanting to sell the house to this large resort, and her mother, Kat, was like, "Okay, we're doing it now." First night they're there, Finley's boyfriend FaceTimes her and breaks up with her. So now Finley's kind of in this situation where she's at this in this strange community at the lake. She's learning about her mom. She's getting to know her family that she didn't know existed. There's also um, a cafe in town that her sister, let's try it again, her mom's sister owns, and she kind of gets recruited by accident to work there, and she starts to slowly get romantically entangled with Ben, who is one of the fry cooks there, and it just kind of goes like that, and kind of Finley deciding her next steps in life, and like learning about her family, and is she still in love with Colin, is she interested in Ben, where are we going to go?
This book was really rough for me as far as it took me much longer to read it than I expected. And I think part of it is in the book, Finley talks about how her relationship with Colin is like a hurricane or a tornado, and like it just kind of lifts her up. I felt that this book was like a hurricane or a tornado. Like I feel like I never really got to know any of the characters, and it was really hard for me to keep track of who fit into what where and like to even get to know them. And I think like as you're talking, like there could have been kind of some charm and some exploration in the family and like the family history and stuff, but we really didn't get that. And it was really hard for me to keep track of who the adults were and like to keep them separate and like understand their identities and even just everybody. It was really hard for me to remember who was what and how they fit.
So I had similar issues. So like when I was reading it, it read really fast, but I didn't really like have a burning desire to ever go back to reading it. So that was my problem. My thing, like I will, like it took me like a good 50 to 100 pages to keep like the ants straight and all of the other people in town straight. Like there is somebody who works at the resort named Cardoon. I thought he was supposed to be like much older, and then all of a sudden it's like, nope, he's like 19. Um, I feel like there are aspects of this book that feel very classic Sarah Dessen. I liked the fact that something happens and Finley loses her phone, so you lost like that aspect of it, which to me made it feel more like a classic Sarah Dessen book, that she's not like constantly playing on her phone and like looking at her phone. But there are also aspects of it that I felt like we've already seen in a Sarah Dessen book. Like the overachieving boyfriend who breaks up with her. Like I feel like that's been in Sarah Dessen books. Like the distant parent, like learning about this family at the lake. Like,
I mean, yeah, you can reuse a lot of those plot points, but the thing that the reason why Sarah Dessen books work are because you get to know the characters. Like it's not the plots, it's characters.
that is
And
true.
the characters aren't there. Like I read in the description sounded glorious, like found family, all of that. But like at no point did I really even believe that they were a family. Like, yeah, they were a friend group, I guess, but like, I don't really know them. Like,
Oh, that is true. And that might have made it easier to like track the characters if I knew them better. The storyline with the cousin who was going to get married, I feel like we've seen that before too.
and I wanted to know them all better. And I feel like had we spent more time exploring either the found family or the family and actually getting to know these people, it would have been different. But that I mean, and that's what makes a Sarah Dessen novel a Sarah Dessen novel is the depth, right? It's the plot points are usually pretty superficial, which is fine, and not in and I'm not saying that in a bad way. They're more superficial, more like a typical romance novel kind of thing. But she's got a depth that you don't find in a lot of other books, and it was just not there this time.
I mean, her books are usually very character driven and very plot or setting driven. And I
Yeah.
feel like the setting wasn't even all that well like developed in this.
Mm-mm.
And it
But
maybe
there were like it could it the potential is there, like the hummingbirds and
yeah,
the fauna, like that it was there, it wasn't developed.
yeah. I don't
And
know
it
if I
just
really
makes me nervous about reading anything more because like I love all the old school Sarah Dessen. Not even old school, because I was looking back at like my reading history of her books. Like I love Sarah Dessen novels. This one wasn't hitting, so I'm hoping that it's an exception to the rule. But like I don't want to get to a point where I'm like not finding what I need from a Sarah Dessen novel.
It's true. That is true. And her books, like I don't even call them necessarily older books, but I mean, there is something about her writing that people relate to because they still circulate.
Yeah.
Like I put them on display and they go out.
I don't know. This one was hard for me, and it, it's an easy read, but like for me, it took me much longer to read this book than it should have, and like it was a struggle to finish because I was just like, I'm okay. Like by 75%, and I still don't know how the half the characters fit together. Like I'm done. Like I'm okay. I don't need to know what happens.
I also kind of feel like the ending, it just ends.
Yeah.
Like it's just done. So we should just rate it. Our rating system starts off with 5 unicorns. We got on 2 unicorns. If we don't like it, it is a horse.
I'm at two unicorns, which is really weird for me with a Sarah Dessen novel, but like it did not.
I'm at a 3 because I think even her weakest book is stronger than a lot of people's best books. But yes, it was definitely not one of my favorites.
This was
So
rough.
that is,
I don't see myself recommending it.
yeah, that is where we are on just
Change of Plans by Sarah Dessen.
a change of plans. We'll see you around. Bye.
Bye.